Welcome to the Transnet podcast on this third day of Mining Indaba 2024. This is the Transnet podcast, a platform where we have conversations with the people, I'd say, behind the cargo, the people that move the cargo, the people that maintain our very important rail logistics network. Today I have Awelani Radzilani, who is the Facility and Infrastructure Engineer at Transnet Engineering. Sir, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks.
That's good. How has the Indaba been for you?
No, it has been eye-opening. It was very much to learn, and I think it was like they say, positive distraction.
Yes, it was worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Always. I want to start maybe with infrastructure sustainability.
Yes.
Now, infrastructure is critical for the running, the functioning, and the efficiency of an organization like Transnet. That's important to our economy. Give me an understanding of some of the challenges that you deal with, but also some of the solutions that you are looking at when it comes to that.
Yeah. Okay. I would put it in this way. The challenge, and which is the most in the main, the challenge in the infrastructure in Transnet Engineering basically is the aging infrastructure. With the aging infrastructure, it brings the complexity on maintenance and upkeeping of the structure. And over and above that, it does pose a challenge when it comes to regulation. Regulation continuously change, and we find aging infrastructure that is not compliant to regulation. That poses risk to the employer and employees and the environment itself. So with that aging infrastructure, you have introduced things like breakdowns of equipment, uncontrollable disasters that poses a challenge, and over and above that, Transnet will find difficulties in balancing the maintenance cost versus the reliability of the infrastructure or the system in totality. So the aging, it's really a single most important challenge that Transnet Engineering will face in terms of Transnet has facilities that are older than 100 years. Some of the equipment around there, they are 30-year-old that are still producing and that are still being used. And continuously you find items that are obsolete when it comes to maintenance. So it needs a special skill into terms of upkeeping of Transnet equipment. So to come on the position of how to address that, and what we are doing now is to say now we in looking at the infrastructure, we have always keep the focus on maintaining an item that in a manufacturing point of view might have even lived beyond its lifespan. And there might be a number of modifications that have been done, and it no longer prescribed to the manufacturer, OEM, and kind of those lines. So it needs a unique and different strategy. So this is where we are looking at how to improve that. So in the main, that is the biggest challenge of the infrastructure.
Let's maybe jump into exactly that, what you're speaking about now, but kind of veer off from infrastructure into maintenance. The different strategies, models of maintenance, but predictive maintenance, I'd say proactive maintenance. What are some of those maintenance strategies that you employ at TE?
So the strategy we are using is mainly based on a reliability engineering point of view. We're looking at proactively. We now focus on how to determine the lifespan of to predict the lifespan and what is the remaining life of the asset that we have inherited for quite some time, and then to predict that remaining life, we use those condition monitoring techniques. We deploy a complete reliability-based maintenance, where we're looking at how to proactively try to maintain the equipment, collect information which is relevant to assist us to predict possible failure, and a continuous prevention of failures by continuous inspections, and total design of the whole maintenance strategy.
So now, obviously, at the core of that strategy is people.
Yes.
Now, TE is a continental and a world-class organization when it comes to understanding the rolling stock and how to keep it running. As you've said, there are pieces of equipment that should not still be alive, but in whatever miraculous way you've been able to do that, and people are behind that. So let's talk about the talent development strategy. We have good engineers, we have great engineers at Transnet and at Transnet Engineering. How are you guys looking at developing new talent coming into the engineering sphere and making sure that through natural attrition, those who leave are replaced by talent that is good as, or even better? How are you guys doing that?
Yeah, main focus. You're quite right that without those skills and those skills are dynamic in a view that it's continuously, the problems are different, and all the times we'll have very good engineers who understand the system, who have been in the program, in the system for a number of years, and who in the back of their hand know and understand the technology. But over and above that, by pairing those skilled and incoming engineers with a fresh mind and a fresh look out of things, the program of training engineers in a real experience with the machines, it's what we naturally will do in the intake of any engineer who's entering the stage. So they would be exposed to that program where they are more closer to the machine, closer to the older,
closer to the action.
Closer to the action, and allow them to make those necessary mistakes that will ensure that learning it's expedited and
growth.
And growth, yes. So we do have that a room to allow them to learn through the experience of first-hand touching the equipment, and allowing and pairing them with a mentorship to allow them to bring their fresh view into the system.
Let's talk about collaborations. Now, knowing that TE, Transnet Engineering, is in itself a center of excellence, who are you collaborating with? What type of innovations are you working with external partners and stakeholders?
So in our collaboration, we mainly invite the OEMs of those equipment that we are having. Basically, for one and most reason is that they would have the original spare parts of those equipment. They would have a quicker turnaround time in terms of how to solve the breakdowns that we're experiencing. So the collaboration, it's widely in all the equipment that we have with the OEMs of those machines. That will give us access to IP of those equipment. We're able to have softwares of those equipment that we have safe in collaboration with the original equipment manufacturers.
So maybe let's talk about some of the challenges that you're faced with, but also let's talk about the vision for the future. I think at the same time, people focus too much on the problem and not enough time on the solution. So I want to know what are some of the challenges that you have. You've mentioned that older machines is one of the problems, but I want to know what are the challenges you have, but also what are the solutions and what does the future look like?
Maybe to start with the future, it looks bright in terms of Transnet Engineering per se. It has an asset which holds a lot of equipment which can do most of the required engineering work that we see from rolling stock, from maritime business, and so forth. So the growth, it will be with that facility and the skills that we have. The expansion, it's endless. On the challenge, it's to keep this running, to balance that reliability of those equipment, to ensure that we deliver on time as required. is to balance the maintenance cost of it. So the maintenance part, we have always been looking into quality and maintenance of a product that we are offering, which are rolling stock, which are locomotives. We look at the reliability of locomotives, of rolling stock, but not much on the equipment that we have, on the facility that we have. So with this change, the recovery on looking into how to more apply this in our quick equipment and in our facility, assist us to so now we can employ
Better
new
plan.
technology on the equipment. We measure the equipment. We see them, with technology. We can have the performance of an equipment on a cell phone, where you see. We
and
see
those are the innovations.
Innovations that we're kind of having now. We're more looking it not only on the product we are giving, but in our in-house facility and so forth.
How do you measure success? How do you say we've had a successful quarter, we've had a successful half-year term? How do you measure success at TE?
It will be in twofold. Obviously, success will be from a customer we're
satisfied customers.
Satisfied customers with their rating, but internally there are certain areas that we need to ensure that we cover and we satisfy ourselves with, which is delivering on time and delivering what we have promised to deliver in time. So if that has been done, met the target, we should be saying
then you're a happy man.
Yes.
I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your extensive knowledge.
Okay.
I think at times we need more engineers coming out from under the hood of the locomotives and explaining what it is that you do and why it's important. So platforms like this and you availing yourself here at Indaba is amazing for us. I've got Awelani Radzilani, who is the Facility and Infrastructure Engineer at Transnet Engineering. Sir, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.